What is up, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. It's me, Kaz@the bringing you more content for Infinite Magicraid. Once again, please do make sure you click like, subscribe, and comment below to help the channel grow. It really does help, and I appreciate all of your support. So let's get into the video. What's it about? It's about Lester. It's about Lester, how to build him, a showcase of Lester, and what he can do, and why you should use him. I still use him now. Even at this late in the game. I may regress him soon to build the likes of someone else, but for now, I really do like Lester. That's because he basically helps my team so much, because I have the likes of Zia. And I use Lester and Zia together because basically Lester will nuke down the team enough for Zia to clear them up. You don't really want to be using him with damage over time, team comps. It's more for attacking burst damage teams, clearing waves fast. And then he has some extra little bonuses which are nice against bosses. For instance, his basic, he deals 160% attack damage to a single enemy with a 30% chance to reduce their defense by 30%. This is really nice. It's really nice because obviously if we're using the likes of an attacker alongside Lester, they're going to benefit from Lester's debuff as well. Now his second ability, Piercing Shout, is very good, especially against bosses and PvP as well. Deals 200% attack damage to a single enemy with a 60% chance to reduce their their defense by 60% for 2 turns. Now that's a big defense down. That's defense down 2. It's really big. And it means that we're going to be able to nuke that target pretty hard with single target damage. The likes of Mewtwo, the likes of Dario, the likes of Zia, the likes of Yoko. The list goes on. Okay, the list goes on. Soon Horus. Soon Horus. Now his passive is absolutely out of this world, and it makes him easy to build, even early on. Super easy to build. Lester gains guaranteed crit for 1 turn at the beginning of each wave. Afterwards, he gains guaranteed crit every 4 turns for 1 turn. So basically, he has a 100% chance to crit. He also gains a 30% crit damage bonus, which is just massive considering the damage he does. So it's a guaranteed crit every time we go into a wave instantly, and you want to save your AoE nuke for the beginning of that wave. That will make sure that the enemies are low health, and then you can clear them up with, say, your Margarita and Lester. You know, like it's so useful. His AoE is 260% damage to all enemies. It has a 4-turn cooldown once it's fully upgraded. Now, that's okay, alright? We've looked at his skills, but that's not just where it's all about. His exclusives are very, very good. And we're going to go into his exclusives now. Level 1, Hail of Bullets. There's a 40% chance to inflict a layer of burn for 2 turns. That's his AoE, okay? So it's got a 40% chance to land burn on everyone. Level 2 increases Lester's leech rate by 30% when he has guaranteed crit. Now, normally that's at the beginning of a wave, but if we're in a boss fight and we're going on further through, on the 4th turn when he gets his guaranteed crit, it's going to help keep him alive a little bit. Level 3, this is the big one. Doubles the chance of Penetrating Shout and Piercing Shout and Hail of Bullets. Has a 30% piercing rate when Lester has guaranteed crit. That means when we're nuking with our AoE, we have a 30% ignored defense alongside his 260% attack damage. Obviously it increases his speed further on, but this is big because it means that we can ignore the 5% of defense to do a really big nuke. Now that's all well and good, but how do we build Lester? Well, it's really simple. Crit damage and attack rate. Boom, that's it. Speed as well is very nice, but you're going to want to choose a crit damage set, or you're going to want to have, you could argue the slay set, but we're not going to be making use of this crit rate up. It's all about the crit damage. Like, this is all you need to focus on. He should be a nuking god. He is a glass cannon. He is to help you nuke down those waves, okay? That is what he's there for. That's how I use him and how I use him effectively. Now we can see his stats here. We have crit damage plus 132.9%. The crit rate, this is wasted, but it is what it is. So really do focus into crit damage. Let me move myself over a second so you can see the stats on my gear. So we have speed here, which it rolled into. Which is nice because it means I'll go first with Lester, meaning that Zia can clear up the enemies or your other wave clearer. So speed plus 67, which is okay. I do need a better weapon. I agree with you. I know what you were saying. This weapon isn't great, but it's okay because there's crit damage, there's attack rate as well. So speed, crit damage, attack rate is actually not bad. For his chest, we rolled triple speed, but it has nothing else actually to benefit him. But it's just pure speed, meaning he's going first. It's nice for arena because it can surprise the enemy. Boots, he has speed boots and crit damage triple along with attack rate and crit rate, but you're really going to be wanting to just focus crit damage, attack rate and speed. That's your focus. That is your focus. His neck needs an upgrade. It does. It rolled bad, but like I said, there are always going to be improvements we can make on our heroes. Now for our artifacts, you're going to want to have crit damage, obviously, and you're going to want to have attack rate on that if you can get it. I didn't roll amazing into this one, but it's not bad. It did hit once. For the second artifact, you're going to want to have attack and crit damage and speed. Attack rate if you can get it. Once again, it's all about the RNG. And for his final artifact, I like to use speed again because this is the way I work my team. I have Lester nuking first, so that Azir can clear up and get an extra turn after. There are other heroes that grant, special things on kills. So really do try and utilize your team to make it effective. And we'll go through in a moment how it works with my team. So focus crit damage and attack rate on this with the speed as a base. And that is really how simple he is to build. Just go crit damage, forget crit rate, crit damage, attack rate, speed. Done. Glass cannon, because he does nuke, and you'll see that. Let's have a look at his emblems. We'll go into his emblems. This is what we have on the left here. If you want to go ahead and copy this, I feel comfortable that this is correct. I go attack and defense because he really is a glass cannon, and he needs these defensive emblems. When self-health is reduced by 25% or more by direct damage of a single skill, he restores some health. When self-health is higher than 50%, he has higher tenacity. When an ally dies, damage taken is a little bit less. It's all things to help him. Damage reflect because he does get hit and he gets hit hard, so that damage reflect can help. Effect resistance as well. I choose this because it's nice to have a little bit of effect resistance, so we don't get as much attack down, that kind of thing. Also, the defense percent isn't huge for him because he has a low base defense. We're not stacking that, so it's not viable. Attack, we go attack percent. Shield slam, which is when attacking a target with shield, damage dealt is increased. When self-health is full, damage dealt is increased. Now, often we're nuking at the beginning of a wave, so our health is normally full. That's why it's important we have this one, because he's normally our first to go, and an extra 6% is welcomed, in my opinion. Arrogant, before the end of the first turn of each wave, direct damage dealt is 9%. And practice makes perfect, which direct damage dealt is increased by 12%. And in the next turn, for every target killed, it cannot stack though. Strength build up when self has a buff, damage dealt is increased. Now, I'm like, when he has a guaranteed crit, I'm wondering if that counts as a buff, which it does, because it is a buff. So it's instantly granting him 4.5 extra attack. And for targets under control status, direct damage dealt is increased. Now, normally I work him with a Cindo, and obviously they're all going to be silenced. So that's control, and direct damage is increased even further. Brave enemies, when attacking targets whose health is higher than self, damage dealt is 6%, and a new lease of life. When attacking targets of less than 50% health, direct damage is increased. Obviously, we choose the crit damage trait because 24% is massive, especially for the likes of Lester. So what do we do with auras? For auras, I use the Victory Rush aura currently. It's the only one I would really use. I mean, nothing else really grants a lot more. You could use the Frenzied Bloodlust, but he is a glass cannon, and we want to be dealing that extra damage because we're nuking down people. And if you're using him in conjunction with the likes of an Asindo or other controlling heroes, he gets an extra 50% for targets under that effect as well. The pristine, the basic attacks have more crit rate. This is okay. I would either choose this, if I was on green, I would choose this one, or range hit, or because of our effect hit, getting that defense down can be quite nice sometimes. So you gotta be careful what you choose. Into epic, self-turn meter is quite nice when inflicting a kill. Gains more crit. It's no good for him. Hitmaster could be okay if you really want to focus on that effect hitting. There's deep targeting, or would be one to look at as well, quite a lot. Speed mark is, yeah, I mean, speed's always nice. Speed is nice anywhere you go, right? And where's the other one? I think that's all of them. Yeah. Okay, bold confidence aura is the one. Crit damage is increased, so this would be super nice, and it gains more crit rate when self is above 90%. But this is irrelevant, this part. The crit damage, I'll still choose direct damage over it. I'm not going to go into legends because not a lot of people have them, and I don't think you'd be using a legend on your Lester. So let's get into a showcase of Lester. We're going to go to campaign and just going to show how effective he can clear waves. We're going to go back a little bit, okay? We could go into here, but we're going to go back to, say, stage 7. We'll go to stage 7. We'll just go to stage 1. Stage 7, 1, sorry. And obviously he's the force mark, so he's like neutral with everyone. Now, let's just see what kind of damage he does here. Obviously, he is geared quite well, but he hasn't changed in gear. He hasn't changed in gear for pretty much all of Hell. Now, obviously, you're going to see them self-buff with space there, but we're going to just watch Lester throw his bomb and what happens to the enemy. You just cannot argue. You cannot argue that Lester is an insane wave clearer. This is Hell. It is stage 7. Yes, it's not the later stages of Hell, but I still do use him in certain areas. Obviously, he's got guaranteed crit rate back up straight away for this wave, but he's not going to have that chance to use it. Using him to help clear waves is nice. Let's go to stage 11 in Hell, Doom Volcano. It's quite a tough one. This is like level 250 enemies. So really, would we be saying Lester's not going to be any good here, right? Well, we'll see. We'll see. So this is what his nuke does to the enemy. It takes them all down by half health. This is Lester, okay? This is an epic hero, reducing the health of enemies by half. And what that means is that obviously Zia gets to AoE as well, which brings the enemies down pretty low, and we self-buff with a shield. And it means that we stay alive for this round, and then we clear it with Zia. So it's all about team compositions, guys. If you're more with attack, then you need to focus your attack. You don't go using damage over time with it because you're just going to struggle to clear stuff. What am I doing? That took a little bit longer than I expected, but that's my fault. So we increase turn meter, now we get his guaranteed crit, and we nuke on the final wave at this stage. We self-buff with shield. We then get Zia ready with her AoE. We buff more shield so we can withstand the damage from the enemies. If we get that far, we're not going to get that far. It's going to be a clear. So this is how we can utilize Lester in that sense. Let's have a look at PvP and what Lester can do. What rank am I currently? 45? Ouch, I need to push some arena. Who's been attacking me? Nikes. Estelle. Estelle. So let's go ahead and attack Sucks. Like we're 60k behind. I've been using this arena team for a little while now, to be honest. I have. So we will obviously control AoE. We will self-buff speed because it seems a bit slow. Now, this is what Lester can do in PvP, considering the enemies are all the same, they're all equal. He does enough damage to take them down, some of them down to half. Wim is obviously really tanky in health. Now, obviously, we have, this is a bit cheeky, okay? This is a little bit cheeky with Focus, what we do, because we reset Zia, and now we can nuke down the enemies. It is a little bit cheeky, but it really works, and it works nicely. He's now basically made useless. This works on a lot of enemies. Some teams can counter this, you know, the likes of Bailey's team. I don't even get a chance to attack. You know, like, it's just really, really effective because Leicester made them low enough for our Zia to clear these enemies down. If Leicester wasn't here, we'd have to use another nuker. And he's easy to build. He's very easy to build compared to other heroes. So that's why I love Leicester and why I recommend to all of you, if you don't have dot teams, use Leicester because he really helps. He really, really does help. Let's just put it on auto now. Let's have a look at the damage recap. And we can see here that Leicester did 1.9 million and Zia did 4.8. I completely forgot that I was in the middle of the screen for this video, guys. So I do apologise if that eradicated any points of view. That is it for the video on Leicester. I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope that you use Leicester and use him effectively. He's really easy to build, guys, and he's a great hero, so really do work towards your Leicester. I'm Carl Zetnable. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, and comment below to help the channel grow. Take care, everyone. I'll see you soon.